Assalamu alaikum, dear students, interlevel. We will continue. Today we'll continue our preposition class. Today we'll discuss at in on, and then if I get time, we'll discuss appropriate preposition also. So previously we discussed the function of preposition, some introductory uh, elements of preposition, relation between preposition and parts of speech, and some others issues. Today we'll continue in at and on. They are related preposition. They are used mainly for time, place, and position. So let's continue our class. In, at, and on is are important preposition. We will discuss. In is used before time, and in is used before place. Especially when we consider a bigger place, a bigger time, we use in. Look at the chart. When we'll use in, we'll use in Bangladesh. In country, before country will use in. If it is used for adverbial of place, we know what is adverbial of place. Adverbial of place means to indicate a place. If I say Bangladesh is our motherland, then Bangladesh will not be adverbial place, as Bangladesh is used here as a subject. Or if anything is used, a place or time is used as subject or object, it will not be adverbial place. Adverbial place will be used when a preposition will be added before the place. For example, if I say I live in Bangladesh, then in Bangladesh should be adverbial of place. And if we merely said Bangladesh is our motherland, if we simply said Dhaka is the capital of Bangladesh, so they will not be the adverbial of place. So for adverbial place, it is mandatory to have a preposition before this place. So we can discuss in Bangladesh, in Dhaka. In the same way, we can say in Canada, in Rajshahi. They live in Rajshahi, and they are living in Canada. They are living in the USA. And you know that article is used. Zero article will be used before a country. That means no article will be used before a country. But in exception, there is exception, that is before USA, UAE, and this sort of country which has united united condition, which is united, that article D will be used before them. Now in town, in village, we can, for example, she lives in a small village. But if we mention the name of the village, for example, Motto, there is a village in Maniganj named Motto, my favorite village as well, then will be used at Motto. So when name will be mentioned, that be at will be used, and when name will not be used, in will be used. Then in town, she lives in town, in a small town. Town, town is a small city, you can say, a small town. In family, he lives in a big family. For example, he lives in a big family. And if we say সে বড় ফ্যামিলি থেকে এসেছে, তাহলে he comes from big family or ancient family or aristocrat family. And in love, in garden, we say in will be used before garden, not at garden. Okay. And for example, you can give an example. I cultivate some crops in my garden, or I have there are lots of flower in my garden. So there will be in class. The students are regular in classes, in their classes. So in class or in classroom, in will be used before class. In blood, we say there are germs in blood. So if we consider outside body, the outside part of the body, on will be used, and if we consider the inside the body, then in will be used. For example, in kidney, in lungs, and in heart. On the other hand, if we say head, then it will be on head, on body, on skin, on hand. And for example, there are some marks on her neck. There is a spot on his head or on his forehead. So on will be used on outer part of the body, and in will be used for internal organ. And then in mind, mind is also a place. We say she has no peace in his mind, in her mind. So this mind will be used for in mind will be used in will be used before mind. In book, book is also a place where we can get knowledge. So it is will be in book. In book, in newspaper. We find news in newspaper. In newspaper. And in travel. In travel, in Asia, we use in trouble. She is in trouble. She in Asia. In Asia, before any continent or subcontinent, we use in Asia, in Africa, in Australia, in Indian subcontinent. So in will be used. Is Asia, you know that continent and subcontinent is bigger than a country. So in is obviously in will be used. In the world, in the world, in the earth. Then what is the difference in the earth and in earth? When the earth will be used, it will be this is our planet, and only earth. Without it will be soil, a thick wet soil, which we call kada, mud. It will be mud. In universe, in sun, in the moon, in the universe, in the universe, in mood, in the sea. So there are difference in the use of sea. When we, for example, inside the sea, there will be in sea. So fish lives in the sea. On the other hand, when a ship moves on the sea, on sea. When you consider surface of sea, that will be on will be used. And when we consider consider in the middles of the sea or inside the sea, that will in will be used. And environment, in the environment, in nature, we find many changes in our nature. And in row, row, and in life, in short means in brief, সংক্ষেপে. In short is in সংক্ষেপে. In addition means the meaning of in addition is moreover. In addition হচ্ছে moreover. In addition means moreover. In general, in will be used in general. In culture. So there are many aspects in our culture. For example, there are many aspects in our culture. In economy, in will be used before economy. And in shape. In village, we also say in village. In town, we previously discussed. In difficulty, we earlier said in problem, and it is in difficulty also. In peace. In peace means shantite. Okay? We want to live in peace. For example, we want to live in peace. Another thing, in sphere, in air. There is a difference in air. In air means batashe, And when we say on air, it is torongo wave. Especially when we listen to radio, it will be on air. We say we listen music on air, but in air means বাতাসে বা বায়ুমণ্ডল, যেটা in air. In box, in photo. ছবিতে means in photo. So there are many things are told in photo. In stomach and in article. Okay, in article. So that is in pocket also, in pocket. That is the thing usually we use. Before this word we use in. Then come to at. At will be used at a specific location. For specific location, and for shorter time and shorter place in length. At desk, at reception. You know what is at desk? She is at desk. She is at reception, at motto, at bus stop, police station, rail station. Will be all for all these things. At will be used. She is waiting at the rail station. He is sitting at the bus station. At office, he is now at his office. At his school, at college. At market, you can mention now she is at Bosundhara. She is now at Mauchak. And at fair means mela. And you know that there are several meanings of fair. Fair means nice, and fair means also festival or cultural arrangement. Mela, which is called mela. At fair, he is now at Boishaki fair. He is now at international trade fair. There are many products are shown at international trade fair. Bank, now at bank, at Sonali Bank, at Janata Bank. He is now at this moment at bank. At dock, at home, at car. And these are the use of at, and at will be used before this short of before this place. Now we'll come to on. On will be used on table, on floor, on table, on sea. On sea, you know, sea will be used both for in and on. Okay. And on ceiling, on wall, on door. So on table, on floor, on wall. If we think about a room or a building, then on will be used on floor, on ceiling, on floor, on wall, on window. Okay, everything. And for window and door, at will be also used. At will be also used. And on TV, for example, we are watching a movie on TV, or we are watching a movie on HBO, okay, or Star Sports, or sorry, we are watching a cricket match on Star Sports or ESPN. On radio, also is also called on air. Also on air means torongo wave. And on body, we earlier said outer part of the body. For outer body, on will be used. On nose, on legs, on arm. On way, means pothe. For example, she is on the way to office. He is on the way to office. He is on the way home. So this is the example of on. On side, he is on my left side, he is on the right side. For side, on will be used. A plate, on page, on page number 19, on page number 20. Now there is an article on page number 21. On street, on avenue, on plane, on bus, on hold, on fire. Okay. These are the use for on. So we have compared at, in, and on for adverbial of place. These are all the adverbial of place. Now we'll discuss adverbial of time. In the same way, adverbial of time in will be used for bigger time in length, and on it will be used for smaller portion of time. For example, in will be used for century. In 21st century, we are in 20. We were in 20th century. We are in now 21st century. For year in 1990, he was born in 1990. We got independence in 1971. For month, in July, in August, in October, in September. For season, in winter, in spring, in will be used before season. And we should keep one thing in mind. We can say in the winter and also in winter. So D is optional for season. In the morning, okay, in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, and in hurry, okay. So in will be used for this bigger time or place. And we'll discuss at for dawn or dusk. Dawn and dusk. So you know what is dawn? Dawn is Usha and dusk is Godhuli. Dusk means Godhuli. At dawn, he goes out for work at dawn, for example. And at noon, we use at noon, at night. He usually goes to sleep at night. At 7 o'clock, for the portion of time, for hourly time, we used at 7 o'clock, at 7:30 p.m., at 7:30 a.m., at 9 o'clock, at 12 o'clock, at midnight, at eat. But if you use eat day, it will be on eat day. At weekend. At weekend means at weekends, at this moment, before moment, at will be used at moment. And at hour. At age, she got married at the age of 40, or at the age of 30, at the age of 20. He retired from the service at the age of 50. So age, before age, at will be used. And we can also simply say at 50. He retired from the service at 50, or he got married at 21. Price. At sunrise, at sunset. Before sunrise and sunset, it will be also used. Now come to on. Before any day, on will be used. On Sunday, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Thursday, on Wednesday, on will be used. Even on each day. Look, each day, on Easter day. Before any types of date, will be used on 21st April 1911. Or you can also say he was born on 21st April in 1991. Or we can say in another way, he was born on 20th April in 1991. Okay. So before any date, we will use on holiday. Okay. We will also use on holiday. So these are the things we discuss about at, in, and on. So and there are some other use of at. We'll discuss at all. At all used at the end of a negative sentence to add emphasis. I don't like TV at all. At all means ardo, and it will be used for negative ইউজ। একেবারে পছন্দ করি না, আমি আর্ধ পছন্দ করি না, আর আমি আর্ধ পছন্দ করি। সো আর্ধ পছন্দ করি এটা হবে না, আর্ধ পছন্দ করি না। দেন নট অ্যাট অল, অ্যাট এনি রেট, অ্যাট ফরেস্ট, অ্যাট ফার্স্ট, অ্যাট লাস্ট, অ্যান্ড অ্যাট লিস্ট, কমপক্ষে, অ্যাট দ্য এন্ড, সব শেষে। So at the end, not substitute, this is a corner. There's a difference in the in and at the in. So we have discussed we discussed at, in, and on, and there are differences. Okay, which which in will be word for which words, and at will be for which words, and these are discussed. And these are we have discussed mainly adverbial time and adverbial place, and these three things, at, in, on, are mainly used for adverbial time and place. Okay, and they have other use also. We have discussed this important part of adverbial time and place. And that's all for today. Thank you for attending this lecture. Assalamu alaikum.